Hey, welcome back to my series on Transport Fever 2. This is Alsager train station where we are looking at our Class 142 suburban all stations train. You'll also notice that there are overhead wires on the rail line, and if we're quick enough, you'll catch a new train depot that's sitting here, and there is a steam train heading into the depot. This is one of the steam trains that I did not sell when we changed over from from steam to diesel. I did save some of them. And what I've done is I've built a new rail yard here for um, the train depot. Here is a second one, and oh, I might not be quick enough. Quick Sims, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. So what I'm doing is I have four of them, and they were sitting up here in the train depot that we've always had around here. He hasn't made it out onto the main line yet, so that's fine. So what I had to do was I needed to move my steam trains that were being stored in this train depot. And I've had to put them out on the line, on the main line. And you can see the line that this guy's on is the train passenger Fordwich to Staines line. But before he gets to his first stop, which is Kendal, I need to tell him to send to depot. And basically what we're doing is we're just moving them from this depot to the new depot. Now, he's not all the way out. If I say send to depot, will he go back in there or will he continue on? He will continue on. So he doesn't just, because he's still in there, he doesn't disappear immediately and go back into that one. He will make his way down the line, and he'll have to be patient to find a spot where he can get out onto the main line. And this will be interfering with all of my existing passenger trains, but it's just something that I had to do. I'll show you why I've had to do it, is because my train depot, while it doesn't have high-speed tracks, it's not a big deal. The big deal is that it does not have a catenary. You cannot adjust the settings on it. You do have to place a brand new one. Buildings, train depot. You have to go to the settings and pick catenary. Now, quite a few that are around the map I've accidentally put a catenary on them because I think, sometimes it does it as a default, and I've had to choose not to do it in the past. Now, I could not delete this train depot because it had trains in it. So if I say bulldoze now, I get the confirm construction now. I'm sorry, confirm destruction. So let's just pause it there. And then please let me build a new one, please. Yes. And we look at the settings, and yeah, it kept the settings from last time. So yes, high speed, double track. It lets you put it on that side. That's too close, right? That's too close to that side. You put it on this side. And now I can actually purchase trains from this one that are electric trains, and they can access the electric main lines, or I can purchase diesels and they can jump across to here and get onto the diesel lines here. Now I have this one here that can access these diesel tracks on the left, and these ones here can access on the right. I also have the depot switched on because they're actually hiding in the left-hand side on that one. I couldn't even see that the trains were being stored in there, because it just turns out that they all went in to what I would say is the left-hand side there. The default is the right-hand side when looking from behind. So we'll switch them off. We don't need them on again. Or I might need to have it on to see which depth, whether they went into the left or the right on the other end. Okay. So we do have steam trains out on the line today, and they are making their way down to the new rail yard, which is here. Okay, so that's the change that I've made to the map since last episode. All right, let's start with our two trains that we want to upgrade today. So the express comes out of here at Kendal and goes up to Hemsworth, and the passengers, this will be just the southern passenger line from Fordwich in the south that runs up to Swindon, and then it terminates and it runs back down. So it's just this line here. Okay, but the express goes through Auckland, does not go into Staines, and arrives at Hemsworth. I'd also like to run an express maybe all the way up to Woodham, maybe. I don't know that I want to run one all the way up to Bolton, because that's where the airport is. I don't want to take passengers away from the airport necessarily, and I don't even know that an express to Woodham would be all that interesting for passengers, but okay. Let's jump back into here. Have we got a train here now? We do. Okay. Let's pause for a second. What has basically forced my hand into going electric, because I wasn't even sure that I really wanted to. There's two parts here. First of all, this station here is overflowing with up to 800 passengers. I've seen it hit 800 passengers once. He's probably going, yeah, it already says he's going to Hemsworth at 2 kilometers an hour. So he just picked up 124, which means this was at almost 840, right? So, and that's the capacity of that we can handle here. There's 544 on the platform and 300 in the extra station building. So that would be this building here, and this building here gives us extra capacity, right? Outside of the platform. So the platform is 544 plus 300 is 844 capacity on a platform. And we were hitting that, obviously. We were hitting that, right? Okay. So I have already upgraded the lines. The second reason why I really wasn't wanting to go electric is this is going to make my game worse. And already my file save is, I've got a real problem. The file save right now is at 297.5. Now, since I had that problem a few episodes back where I thought it was game over, when it hit the 300 save file, it crashes, it dies. But at that time, the file save, the starting file save was 263. And it's been 263 all the way since then. Like whenever I save, it saves like at 295, but then like it must do some sort of compression. And then when I come back and I play next time, it's back to 263, even though I've made heaps of changes to the map. But I've been making changes to the map trying to bring that file size down. And I did achieve it to get down to as low as 263. But I'm back to 295 by putting all this electric in. And I haven't electrified the whole map for passengers. I've only electrified, like I said, the passenger up to Swindon, and then this passenger line up to Hemsworth. I have not continued into the central region up here, further up, and the northern region. And I've stopped here. Well, it goes up. It automatically kind of just went all the way up to there. So this line isn't even being used at the moment. This is the proposed express line up to Woodham. Okay. So I have real reservations about the stability of my game now. And today, just being in it briefly, I can see that it's more laggy straight away. And I've already had a crash. I built the rail lines and I recorded that. Sorry, I built the electric lines and I recorded that. And it crashed. So then I came back in and I did it again and I didn't record it. I just saved it and okay, we're good. And so that's where I'm at now. No, not really. I've already gone ahead and tried to upgrade my trains and it crashed. And I lost the record and I didn't get the save. So I've come back to here now, and even though I've already electrified the track twice due to a crash, I have already upgraded the trains as well. And I lost that record and I lost that save. I actually started the movement of I came back in and I started the movement of the steam trains, and then I realized while they're on their way down, actually I'll save and make sure that this extension here is saved because I'd just built that. And that's why the episode started the way it did. Like, hey, we're sort of in the middle of the transfer. And that's because my game is no longer stable like it was before. In fact, I might not get a save based on anything now. So I'm bringing you up to date with everything that's happened, because what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to save this record and I'll be back in 2 seconds. Good news, everyone. It's saved. I didn't have to go out or in again, but who knows what the next segment does, okay? So I'm going to do this piece by piece. I'm sorry if it ends up being a bit janky. The other thing is I don't know that I can spend a lot of time on discussing what decisions I'm going to make based on new trains that I have to choose from. But let me just say right from the start here, I'll put some extra trains in. These trains are brand new. I deleted the Volvo pack because, like, you can only put so many mods in on console as well. And I'm using the full capacity of how many mods I can have in. And it also turns out that truck packs and train packs are very large. So these are brand new. I've not even looked at them. Not even in the last section that I did. However, we saw these guys come in last episode, and we saw, what did we see? We saw, okay. We saw these two come in, plus the ES1. Now I think I don't know, that's base game. I didn't see a mod in the mods list, which was that. This is a modded train, the BR430. We we've gained extra cars here for these double-decker coaches. They're new in as well. And I haven't tried any of those yet. Now, the CityJet is a mod as well, but that came in ages ago. That's 1988. And that's basically just a color change from the bi-level car. But you do get this control car with the modded set, which is why I put it in. I thought if I'm going to use the bi-levels, I'd rather use this CityJet pack, which you also get an engine with, this one here. And I thought that would be a viable replacement for our 142s, which are right down the bottom down here. Here are our 142s. Okay, so instead of going into a heap of detail, right, let's talk about the Express first. This is what we're running in the Express. It has 124. I actually tested the TGV just recently, and it's expensive, yes. It wasn't making a profit even in normal mode. And it was running at full capacity, but I don't think the line is not long enough between Kendall and Hemsworth, which is, it's not half the map. Let's have a look. It's not half the map. Jump out of there. From here to Hemsworth is just that. We can see it in the screen here. From the bottom of the screen, Kendall, to Hemsworth. And then what I'm thinking of doing is running more up to Woodham. And then from Woodham to the top of the map is Basildon. So let's say that's a quarter. That's a quarter. Hemsworth to Kendall is a quarter, and that's the edge of the map, right? So yeah, it's only running maybe a bit over. No, about a quarter of the map is, and that's not long enough for a 300 kilometer high-speed train. First of all, my track is not 300 kilometers all the way. I have a number of spots which are, damn it, which are purple. Now, this corner here in particular, that's a 200. At 215 here is a problem as well. So I don't, like, they slow down to come into the station here. I don't know whether they're slowing down because this is 215 or whether they're slowing down anyway to come to a stop here. And they've actually got a switch at 140 here. So that 140 switch might be the reason why they're slowing down here. I think they might even be slowing down to less than 215 here, which would be a slowdown for this switch and then to come to a stop. So my lines are not set up to take full advantage of something like the TGV, and so I never wanted to really use it back in the day when it was available. Oh, geez, we're all the way out there. Yep. So like it was available to me, this was available 75 and this was available 81. So in 1981 I could have switched to electric and used the TGV, and I probably could have used these, right? 69. I could have used the Metro liners for the Suburbans. That would be the two base game, and this is the deluxe package. I went with this because A, it was diesel. I didn't have to commit to the electric, and it had a 200 kilometer speed limit, which is what my tracks had. These are 120. We'll deal with them in a second. The ICE is even more powerful. So, you know, even though it only has a high speed of 280 instead of 300, the TGV has the 300. This has the 280. Again, it doesn't reach 280. I would have to improve my tracks for that to happen. It's even more expensive. And while it does carry more passengers than my 124, it also struggles to make a profit, and I think it's because it never gets to its full speed. And for it to make a profit, I think it would need to run, say, the Woodham line. It would then maybe have the potential to get to 300. Probably not on this turn here. Let's have a look. 216, 226, 203, 189, 16. Like it's slowing down all the way in to the stop. So it wouldn't be too bad if, if it could get to 300 here and then it starts slowing down on the way in. That would make sense anyway. And this is a dead straight all the way through. So, do I need to make many changes to the track here? No, this is a 300 through here. So, if I went all the way to Woodham, I would need to deal with a section of track here, maybe at 259, 250. I might want, well, actually, it's this part here, isn't it? This is the 200 section here that's a problem on the way up. So I don't think the 250 is a problem. I think this section here would have to be more gradual and more even, maybe even it out. So this whole bend, try and get 250 throughout this whole bend right through here as a more even bend than this worst spot here. And then obviously on the way down, if I could get, 250 through these bends, that's still not great. Maybe I could get 300 through here. Start the turn back here. Be a little bit more gradual coming into here, bit longer turn, right? I reckon I can get 300 through this turn because it's not that bad. This turn is a whole nother story. We're coming off. Well, we'd have to start the turn here. We could possibly start the turn around here and make that a little bit more gradual. A 300 kilometer an hour train, while it may well be okay on a longer route, is not profitable on the shorter route, and I can't even hit the top speed. So I've already tested that. So I'm not going to test that now. Now the second option that I thought, if that didn't work out so well, because that was really a test, I really wasn't thinking of actually going with that. What I wanted to go with was one of these two. Maybe this on one of these two on the Suburban. So 140, 160, carries 132, carries 115. Well, 115 is not good. But if you put two of them together on a 300 meter platform, you get 230. So, that's not my 360. So I'd like to try. Now that's a capacity of 132. If you put two of those together, I get 260, 400. That could be an option, but I only just put the BR430 in. I saw it in the Mod Hub and I thought, why haven't I tried this train out? All of the other trains, no. Sorry, no, and no on these, okay? This one's kind of interesting, especially seeing it's a small train, but it does have a high capacity for its length of 132. I kind of like that idea. Maybe even better than this one. But what I did test earlier was a couple of different versions of the CityJet. So I did test this 3-car, 300 meters. It's got 3 engines on it, which means it does 12,000 horsepower. And it doesn't need 12,000 horsepower, actually. I mean, its top speed is 130. It just means that it gets to 130 quicker. Um, but the sort of that amount of horsepower and price of 86 million is it's kind of up there. Like it's getting up towards the ICE price of 100. Um, but you can also make a version of the train, so I can use the engine and then a whole heap of cars, and then for 320 meters I can have a capacity of 360, which is what I've got now. I would have a speed of 130. It has 7,000 horsepower, which is better than my speed and horsepower that I'm currently using with the 142s. Now, I tested this and I kind of liked it. I could have had this all the way back in 1988, but again, I didn't want to commit to the electric. So this wasn't too bad, strangely enough. And then, but these two here, this is what I really want to run one of these on the Express. So they're 200, they're very similar. They have the same capacity, but the twin has 10,000 horsepower. And the dual stocks is 5,000 horsepower. They both carry basically 200 at 200 speed. Now at the top here, we have the Rabdi as a 4-car, carries 122. It's only 100 meters long. But I can handle, say, this one here, 200 meters. The capacity isn't terrible. I'm running 360, it's 270. The speed is good. Yeah, so I think I like, do I like this one better than the one at the bottom? Yeah, because the one at the bottom is 198. The Railjet's got 10,000 horsepower, 198. Okay. All right, Sims. Now you have to make a decision. It's the Railjet will, this one here will go on the Express and we'll give that a shot. Okay, Sims, you have to make a decision. All right. I think he's about to leave. He was about to leave? He was leaving. Okay. There's 3 trains on this line. We're going to upgrade all 3 to... We don't have to worry about number of passengers on, because this Railjet twin here can carry a lot more, and it has a lot more horsepower. So if I do that and say, let's spend $250 million on an upgrade, Sims, you're not going to have much money left to do all sorts of testing here. You've got to pick one or the other. You can't upgrade to this one and then upgrade to that one. Like, I think I'm going to try the dual stock actually on my Suburbans instead of these. I think I'm going to put a 200k train on my Suburban and see how that goes. I mean, the price difference is 61, 32, 30. It's much more expensive to put this on my Suburban. Hit the button, Sims. Do it. Right. Can we just check to see how much we're paying in maintenance? It should be normal, right? Well, we have to go all the way to the top and say all. Oh no, it's all very high. Oh, what are you doing, Sims? Okay, we'll put it back to normal. That might help us not go broke. Now, if I put a train on here with less capacity, right, that's a problem. I will lose passengers. So let me just look at this and say, upgrade this one train. It was 228 on it. Do I have any trains that can carry 228? No, that is not a 228. No, no. The 228 would be three of them, would be 400. If we start doubling these up, this is like this train here is double 32 million. Well, that's a $64 million train. This is a $60 million train and carries 198. Yeah, it's only got a little bit of extra capacity. This is 200, that's 160. If I have to triple this, that's a $90 million train, right? Yeah. Now I get the bigger capacity. That could be an option. If the dual stock is 61, let's look at these at the top here again. Were these more or less in capacity? We've hit that, and we hit that, and we go there. 274. It's $100 million. Done. It just got upgraded, guys. Okay. I know this is kind of crazy, right? Okay, I'm not going to look at my expresses. I think what I'll do is I'll go around and I'll upgrade each of these, but I'll need to take some off, right? And while the game's running, hopefully I'm making a little bit of money. So it was the IR 200, 8 wagons, 274 capacity. I didn't lose any passengers there because it had less than that. And I'm going to have to optimize the lines, basically speed. He's hitting 200 there. Oh, and this is that 200 top speed here, but they can only hit 200. So I'll be able to look at them in a minute and see if they're actually making a profit. Okay, let's 237U. Let's upgrade you to that. I have to pick a train to dump here, right? I have to dump you at the end of the line, remember? Ah, Sims at the end of the line. You have to sell a train. If you don't want to lose any passengers, you have to sell them at the end up here. Okay. So we'll put you on, yep, we can, oh no. We've got two different types of trains on here. We got the, oh wow. Yeah, we've got the two lines merged through here. Damn, I could have sold that one. Okay. It was just in at the station. Okay, we're going to do you. Come on, Sims, you got to get this done so you can save it. Okay, and then the train that's going down there at the moment, right now, we'll put him on little screen because I want to sell him. I don't want to upgrade him. Okay, new. This one should be new. Yep. Maybe I need to sell like 2 trains off the line if they're traveling faster, right? Because none of them are carrying capacity anyway. So more than likely I have to, let's just pause it so I don't stuff up here. Okay, purchase that. Man, we're almost out of money. We are so close to being out of money. Okay, you're already upgraded. So we got a train. How many we got left? We should only have one more down this end of the line. You're heading to Fordwich. We could sell you here. There's one here. What are you doing? Let's have a look. Oh, you're just pulling in. Okay. When he drops his 288, we're going to pause. Oh, damn. We're going to have a train up the other end pulling in as well. Hold on a sec. Let me just quickly look up here. Not yet. Where are you? You're on your way. Okay, we can get this one sold. Oh, I'm so used to going there. Over here. I'm not used to traveling to the passenger trains. Okay. 288, you're unloading. Getting ready to pause. 18. And it just loaded 30. I would imagine it just loaded 30. So we'll sell. Okay, which means this train, which is heading down there, can have an upgrade. Can we afford an upgrade, Sims? Okay, now pause it and go and grab this train up at Swindon. Where are you, mate? Go. Go, 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 go. We want to sell you. Train number 12. Yeah, so depending on whether the maintenance is set to high, it loses a bit of money. And when the maintenance is set to normal, it's been making money. But like I said, these lines have not been sort of looked at in any way to be profitable. They've been looked at from the point of view of dealing with the passengers so that we had no build-up of any passengers whatsoever. So we're going to sell this train, but we're going to pause it first, probably on the 112. I'm going to pause on the 112. Geez, his unload speed is slow, isn't it? Takes a while to open up the doors, maybe? Seven. We sell you. Okay. All right, Sims. How many do you have on the line? Because you upgraded the guy that's pulling in here, right? Yes. And he's filling up. No, he's still unloading. So how many trains do you have left on the line that are not upgraded? None. You have 6 vehicles on the line. Okay. That line is upgraded. Okay. Guys, give me 1 minute. I'm going to attempt to save. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, I'll let you have one guess what happened. It didn't say. What I have done though is did it again for the second time. Not a big deal. Upgraded the Railjet Twin, that red express train. Sold 2 trains off this line out of the 8 and upgraded 6 of them. And loaded back up again. So I did spend a lot of money on train upgrades. The question is, the big question is at the moment is, will I make any money from these trains? I think they'll run at capacity. We'll probably have a build up of passengers over a little bit of time here, which is not a bad thing at all. I need these trains to run at capacity. They need to be running at 274, and they're not, because the class 142s were basically keeping all of these stations at like almost bare minimum. There wasn't any build up anywhere along the all stations line. This line, the Fordwich to Staines line. And I've thinned them out by dropping 2, but these are faster. They don't carry as 360, but you know, some of the 142s were not carrying 360 either. Some of them were carrying about 250 or less, which is what this train's capacity is. So I am thinking that maybe I can make some money. Maybe I just want to check to see what he's carrying. 274. Yeah, because I sold a train down here, so there's a bit of a gap now down here, so there should be some passengers building up in Fordwich, because I sold a train in Fordwich and I sold a train at Swindon. So by the time he gets here, it will be 274. That's good news. So what I really need is for this line to start turning a profit. 269, you're almost there, buddy. That's good news. Okay. All right. Let's find out what these guys are doing. He's picking up 198, which is a lot more than what they previously carried. And we've dropped from 800 down to 550 after he did his pickup. All right, that was really, I just caught a glimpse of his profit was 2.7 million. So this game session has been somewhat stressful, just from the point of view of like it's built up each time I've had a non-save. That stress level's built up a little, and I guess I'm a little stressed at the amount of money I just spent as well. Not sure whether I would turn a profit on it. And I'm also stressed about how, oh, you're waiting there. That's interesting. Needs a little bit better separation between the 3 trains. Yeah, I guess I'm stressed because I'm not sure how stable my game will be in the future. Now, there's a good sign that, you know, I have started this week a new series. So if you haven't seen it yet, go and have a look for it on the channel, or just search on YouTube for Race to the North. and I have started a new series. I have waited until I did this. I coincide them together, all right? I've taken the huge leap into electric, knowing that potentially this could kill my game, and I've started a new series at the same time. So, you know, if something does go terrible here where I can't load up my game anymore, especially if I'm going to do this right across the whole map. So I've got an additional express line to the north that I'm thinking of. I've got to upgrade the central region suburban trains because they don't have an express train yet, but I'm thinking of doing one. These guys are crossing a little bit early here. They used to cross in through the station here, so they are a little tighter than what they should be. Yeah, the proposed express train will be off to the right here and head north. And then I'll upgrade all the central region trains and the northern region trains to electric as well. And based on what I've done here, you know, I've survived this section of the upgrade, but I'm not entirely sure that the game will survive an entire upgrade. And speaking of that's the line that will need to be upgraded next. Not today though. I really need to see that these trains actually turn a profit before I go any further. Before I do a second express train line, I want to make sure that these guys are doing okay. And then before I upgrade the rest of the suburban trains, I want to make sure the dual stock's doing all right as well. So, okay, we shouldn't have a problem with passenger numbers up this end, should we? This was never a real problem. Every now and then, this station has cropped up to around about 500 in total on the station, like a combination of this line and the suburban line. Yeah, and the suburban line, you know, it doesn't have a big number on it, and we just cleared this station. So, oh, she's a quick train. Look at this. Already at 100 pulling out of the station. This is a good looking train though, right? I haven't tried any colours. Okay, I'm happy with this. That profit line has been going up. So, oh my God, look at that. The first run was not so great, but that might have been like a half run last quarter. This is probably a full quarter with this train. Like the last quarter might have been some of the inner city and some of this train. But that blue tower there is this train for the whole quarter. So we got a 5 million expense. Is that 7 million for the year on this train? Which is the other train is the dual stock is cheaper to run. We're coming up to December. We're coming up to January, so this is about to close out the quarter. Wow. We just got another, we got an A double and another hopper. Ah, see, now I've added the 422s and there are different versions coming in. Okay. So maybe on this central line, maybe I go with a different train, maybe I try some of them, those 422s. But we're into a new quarter here, so we are starting a fresh quarter with these trains. But I'm pretty sure they ran a full quarter. Maybe they didn't. I didn't take notice of the date that I put them in. It would have had to have been, what, October 1st. Nice. Nice one, guys. Nice one. Okay. And there's 170 odd, so you're almost full on the way back. Okay. All right, let's just flick through the 3 trains. He might be an anomaly. He might be the one and only one that's making money. So no, you're not the one, but we might as well look at you while we're going past. I like blue numbers. I really do. I need blue numbers, right? Now, you know, like my cargo lines are making me a lot of money, especially when I'm not in the very high maintenance levels. But he's doing fine as well. He's basically 4 million as well when he gets up the top there. Yeah, we're starting a new quarter, so yeah, he didn't do as well as that other train, but yeah, that might have just been the timing on how many unloads he did. You're about to unload your passengers. You're only carrying 65. You're not making as much money, are you? Yeah, that was a very small income. I'm thinking we're getting down to the 200s now. We're going to need to sell one of these trains in the future. Definitely, right? Like he's going to come out of here full. Okay, guys, I'm going to call it a day. I'm feeling a lot better now. Actually, I've got a bit of a smile on my face. After seeing the numbers on the express train, they were really good. And now I can see the all stations train for Fordwich to Staines. The entire line is what's being shown on the screen right now, and that's a very good number. Individually, he's got 1.5 million on this one, and he's running at capacity. Very happy with that. Anyway, if I hadn't mentioned it earlier, look out for the new series. Let's hope that this one can continue for maybe a couple more episodes through this upgrade across the entire map. I still have to optimize these lines from the point of view of how many trains I need on them and the signaling. I need to look at the length of these trains basically have to make a decision that I'm going to keep them, and if they're in the blue and we get the number of trains right on the line and they're still in the blue, because we do have a passenger problem here. That's building up now, going to the airport. And that's why I actually had 8 trains on the line. So, if all goes well, I feel like I'm still enjoying this. This has been quite a stressful episode, but we've got another 500 million in the bank again, and the earnings for this quarter is 350 million. So, I'm not going bankrupt from these trains. Whereas I looked at a lot of the earlier not express trains, electric trains, and I couldn't see how I could make money on them, to be honest. Little bit of jitters. All right, mate, I'll let you go. Okay. They're not running in capacity all over the line. In some areas, they're still running fairly low numbers. Let's just have a quick sneak peek down here, because you're both picking up what happens when you leave the Ford, which is empty. We got 500. Yeah. So the Kendall, in between Kendall and the airport here and back again, there is a little bit of a build up again. So maybe I need to look at a different way of helping that line out. But we have our new rail yards here for our passenger trains. And thank you very much for watching, guys. Go and check out the new series, Race to the North, 1850 start. It's quite different than anything I've done before. So it should be interesting. Yeah, and I'll catch you guys next week if I can load this series back up again. Have a good one, guys. See ya.